Hi there, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you how I would go about changing this photo here so that the shadow is taken away from the blanket. And there's a number of ways to do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is just duplicate my background layer. So on my Mac it's Command J, but you can just drag your layer down here to this little box and it'll create a duplicate layer. So there's a couple of ways to do this. The easiest way in this case is actually I would do a content aware fill. So if you lasso the problematic area like this, so you're just selecting it, and then you right click and do fill, and then choose content aware and click OK. So there's a number of options here. Just make sure it's on content aware. Okay. It'll work for a minute and voila. So that's pretty good. There's a couple of other things that I would do here just to fix it up, and I would probably actually just use my patch tool for that. So that's this little patch tool here on the side where my mouse is pointing. And all you do with this is select, so I can see like a bit of a line here. So I'm going to select it and say this is the area I'd like to fix. And I'd like it to look something like this area here. So I drag it and drop it and let go, and it'll fix up the little areas that I'm seeing. So I see another little bit of a darker line here. I'm going to drag it over and drop it here to say, I'd like it, actually, I might come up here where the lighting's a little bit more consistent. I'd like it to look something like this. And it should fix it up for you. There's a little patch here. I'll drag and drop. And maybe some more down here. Drag and drop. And that's about it. And you can do the same thing for these folds here. So if I wanted to, I could drag and drop this guy. I don't know how well he's going to do as it's bigger. We'll see. Looks pretty good, actually. And a lot of these blankets and things, I actually use mixed methods because there's a lot of different things that you can, there's different problems you can run into and things like that. So anyway, I'm pretty happy with that overall. So this is the before and this is the after. Before and after. Another method you could use is the patch tool, which other people were suggesting on the newborn page, and that's sometimes good, sometimes not. Here you have to make sure, so the patch tool is this stamping tool over here, and you'll want to make sure that you're using a combination of hard and soft brushes. So if your brush is soft, you're going to end up with, in this case scenario, you'll end up with a lot of blurring. So I'll show you an example. So what you do is you click, so on my Mac it's Option, and that gives you this little target, and you just click on an area that you like. So I'm going to click here, and that's where I'm telling the computer that I would like to sample the image from and copy it. Make sure your opacity is at 100% up top here. And your brush size, it's all done right here. You can change the size, so if I make it smaller, it's really small. If I make it big, it's really big, okay? And then hardness is here. So to the left here, you'll see really blurred edges, so that means that the edges aren't as concrete, so we call it a soft brush. And here the edges are really hard. So you'll see the edges of this brush a lot more. So I'll show you with a soft brush. On my Mac, I never use that. So Control and Option together. If I drag my, actually I'm using a tablet, I can make my cursor bigger or smaller, and then up and down changes the hardness. So this is a really hard brush. This is a really soft brush. So I'll just show you with the soft brush. So I'm going to sample here, Option click. Sample again. So if you don't click again, so you can see, so I'm just gonna, you can see the little arrow or the little cross on the left of the screen. So that's telling you where it's sampling from. So the problem is, so if you were to sample down here, for example, and click here and then keep going down, you actually run out of things to sample because you can see the cursor on the left there keeps going down and then you've actually run off of your picture, so it stops. So that's why you need to continue to click and sample your area. The other thing is you need to change where you're sampling. So this area is a lot lighter than this area over here. So I'm going to sample the dark area and even this crease and simulate it. So I'm going to come down the same line as the crease there. Sample up here to do the baby. And then here. So you just need to sample the most similar area to what you think it should look like. Okay. So there's the cloning job, a rough cloning job. So this is the before and this is the after. It's pretty good, but you can see sort of blurry areas here. And I don't love that look so much on this blanket. So that's the cloning job. This is the content aware, which actually did the best job. Okay, there we go. So the 3 tools that we used were the cloning tool, which we just did, the patch tool, which is the one where you can sample an area and drag it, and we did content aware fill, where we did this little lasso tool up here. We selected an area, we right clicked, fill, content aware, okay, and it will fill the area with things from around it, and that's it. So I'm going to turn off. So this is the content aware image and it looks a lot better. Hope that's helpful.